Hey everybody, I'm Mark Garcia, Director of McCormick Kitchens, and I want to show you how to make seafood easy. Now, seafood is a wonderfully healthy alternative to beef and chicken, yet some people still aren't making it at home. We hear lots of reasons why, but the most common is that people think it's just too hard to make. But with the right flavors, especially the high-quality field-fresh herbs and spices of McCormick, it really isn't. For instance, let's take this beautiful and delicious Asian sesame salmon. It literally takes less than 30 minutes from prep to table. Now, salmon's an extremely versatile fish. It can be poached, grilled, baked, steamed, or stuffed. Today, however, we're going to bake it. So first, we'll need the perfect herbs and spices because salmon is so rich in omega-3 oils and has a great buttery texture, it works very well with Asian flavors. And this McCormick Recipe Inspiration Sesame Salmon works with the natural flavors of salmon rather than covering them up. Now, recipe inspirations are great because they come with the recipe and the pre-measured spices, so a lot of the prep work has been done for you. Along with the pre-measured spices, including 2 teaspoons of McCormick Gourmet Collection toasted sesame seeds. We also have 1 teaspoon of McCormick minced garlic. We've got 1 teaspoon of McCormick minced onions, 3/4 teaspoon of McCormick ground ginger, and an optional 1/2 teaspoon of McCormick crushed red pepper. Now, you're also going to need a 1/3 cup of honey, a 1/3 cup of thinly sliced green onions, and 2 tablespoons of the soy sauce. And of course, let's not forget our 2 pounds of salmon fillet. Now first, you're going to preheat your oven to 375 degrees. The next thing you're going to want to do is mix the honey, green onions, soy sauce, and all of the spices except for the red pepper in a small bowl. Now you'll want to mix them up really well together to combine and get everything evenly distributed. And for a little bit of heat, and this is purely to taste, you can add the red pepper. If you don't want the heat, you can certainly leave it out. Now next, place the salmon into a 13x9 foil-lined baking pan, and then you'll want to spoon the mixture over the salmon like this. You can see how I've got everything covered up nicely here. A little bit's going to drip on the pan, but that's okay. You'll want to make sure that you baste the salmon occasionally while it's cooking. That'll keep the mixture all over. We're going to bake the salmon for about 20 minutes or until the flesh flakes easily with a fork. Let's get this right in there. While the salmon is cooking, let me take the opportunity to answer a few questions I get about how to buy fresh fish. Now, ideally, the first step in the seafood selection process is finding a really great local fish market. Your local supermarket or the fish department at your local grocery can be an excellent source here. Now, the seafood clerk that you're speaking with should be able to properly handle, ice, and display fresh fish and shellfish, but more importantly, they should also be able to answer basic questions regarding the origin and quality of the fish that they're selling. Now, in terms of freshness, the fish should have a good overall appearance. No cuts or bruises on the flesh, and if the fish still does have its skin on it, then all the scales should be adhering tightly to the fish. Now, if the fish is whole, the eyes should be clear, bright, and bulging, and if there's gills still showing, they should be bright pink, almost maroon in color. Now, once you get your fish home under correct storage, fish can be held in your refrigerator several days without losing quality. The ideal temperature for storing fresh fish is between 28 and 32 degrees with a little bit of ice. Now, when you're at your fish purveyor, you'll probably see a few of the most common varieties of salmon. I have 3 of them here. Atlantic salmon, it's available year-round, has a deep pink flesh that's shiny and moist. King or Pacific salmon comes all the way from the Pacific Northwest up to near Alaska. It's medium to wide body and has a dark red flesh. Now, we also have sockeye or red salmon, which is found mainly in the rivers of Alaska and British Columbia. It has glistening silver skin and dark red flesh. Now, let's check on our salmon. Oh yeah, that's looking real nice. Well, you can smell the honey, the soy sauce. And as I said, you can test the doneness here with a fork and just see how that fish flakes. You can also touch it just slightly with your finger and see that it yields back to the pressure. That looks terrific. Now, on our dish here, I've paired it up with a little bit of sugar snap peas, red peppers, and we also have a little bit of wild rice. I'm Mark Garcia, Director of McCormick Kitchens. This is Asian Sesame Salmon, and that's seafood made easy. I want to thank you for joining me in the kitchen today, and remember, at McCormick, we invite you to live deliciously.